huge. It's what this club needs. We want to be pushing, further up the league in these competitions, bringing trophies back if we can, and look, that's what we want to do. We want to go that one step closer and bring the trophy home.
When you moved to West Ham from Ipswich, I mean, you could never believe, could you, that you were going to be in a European final for them?
No, look, we've had some, as you say, Miss, I've been here, 9-10 years, and I've had some ups, some downs, and the last 3 years have gone tremendously well. Of course, this year in the Premier League hasn't been great, but in Europe has been tremendous, and again in a final, and last year was semi-final, finishing 6th, 7th, and yeah, the last 3 years has been brilliant.
Your favourites to win it, how do you feel about that?
We're not focused on the odds and who's favourite and who's not. We know what we've got to do. Our training now is we've obviously been away, and the build up all this week, and we're going out to Prague early next week, and focusing on ourselves, and that's what we've got to do that going into it.
Crowd trouble after the semi-finals has been well documented. Are the players worried at all about the safety of their families ahead of the final?
No, look, that was just a bit of madness, but that's behind us now, and we're not thinking about that. Luckily no one got hurt, and we managed to get away from it all, and as I say, we're that's in the past now. We're focused on the final. How
much is discipline going to be as much a part of winning this as skill and maybe luck?
Yeah, there's not just one element that comes into any game. It's there's plenty of things, and the referees might be a little bit different in Europe and stuff like that, but as long as we're focused on our game, we'll be okay.
This has been a long season, probably longer than any other you'd have known in your career. But if you can win on Wednesday night, you won't care how long it goes on for.
I couldn't care if it goes on for another year and we don't have a break. As you say, as long as we win that trophy, and it'll go down in history. And as I say, the 43 or 47 years, whatever it was, is way too long. And if we can do that, look, I'm sure it'll long live in the memories of everyone. Nearly
60 since they won it. A couple more. First of all, you're staying next season. Your contract goes on. I mean, you must be delighted about that. You're as I said, the longest serving player here, a real part of the fabric of the club.
Yeah, look, myself, as I say, I've been here a long time and loved every minute of it. I've had my 2 kids down here. It just feels so quick that it's gone, and feels like yesterday I was driving down from Ipswich, and look, here we are 10 years, and delighted.
The kids haven't got the Merseyside accent then?
No, they actually haven't. They've got a little Cockney accent, so I don't think that's going to leave them.
Finally, what about the skipper? Because it probably will be his last game. I think it would be amazing if it wasn't his last game. As an experienced pro, just talk to us about how you've seen him grow up, as it were, since he came into the team. Yeah,
he's developed over the years. There's you don't need me standing here talking how good he is, and I remember seeing him as a 16-year-old kid. He was phenomenal then, and the confidence he had at such a young age, coming away with his own pre-season, and he's 24 now. That was 8 years ago. He's progressed into a world-class player, and not just because he's a good friend of mine and a teammate. He's a real top-class player, and look, who knows what's going to happen, but no, it's not that time to focus on that. We're focusing on the final, and that's what we've got to do.
Good luck.
Cheers.
You've already spoken about the history, how long it is since the club has done this, and so does that do you feel that at the football club? Are the players feeling that at the moment?
No, look, we don't feel the pressure of that, but as I say, as a club of this stature, and the history that this has had over the years, we want to be part of that. We want to write our own history, and as I say, 47 years is a long time, and of course we want to do it for that reason also.
So how does it feel to be in a final? Did some of the players talk about?
Look, we've got some fantastic players in that squad who've played at the highest level possible, and have won World Cups, Champions Leagues, Europa Leagues, whatever. There's everything that we've got in experience. So the squad's fully focused and fully the experience of it. They've experienced that side of it, and that's what we want to do. Is there's a lot of players also that haven't won trophies, and for me personally, that's what I want to do, and hopefully that can happen on Wednesday night.
You mentioned experience. Do you feel that this football club, and the players of this football club in particular, are considerably more experienced now than they were perhaps 12 months ago in dealing with what you may be confronted with in Prague? Yeah,
as I just say, we've had the last year as well as experience and gaining that. But on the other hand, as I said, the squads, the players we brought in have played at the highest level and have been in these competitions for years.
Just going back on your time at West Ham, you've been here a very long time. The club has gone through an astonishing set of transformations. Could you have imagined that this is where you'd be now, given where the club was perhaps just a matter of a few years ago?
Look, I think we've progressed as a club, certainly over the last few years. As I mentioned before, 6th, 7th, and then you know, we're in the final this season, and you know the Premier League hasn't gone as well as we liked. But I think in terms of progression, that's certainly you know what we want as players and what we want as a club and as fans, I'm sure.
This season, how important has Europe been? Because the Premier League has been difficult, and yet you've always been able to fall back on what has been a really kind of morale-boosting experience in Europe.
Yeah, it is, and I think we've won, you know, 13 or out of 14 games, whatever it is, in Europe, and it's kind of been our conference. You know, sometimes when it hasn't been going so well in the league, and you look to lean on the European to get that little boost of confidence going into a game on a Sunday. And you know, we've had some fantastic trips away from home, some great victories, and yeah, it's certainly helped us, I think, this season.
What's it like for the manager as well? I mean, he's had some really turbulent times at West Ham in both his spells. This season's been difficult, and now for him to take this West Ham team into Europe, how special do you think it's going to be for him?
I think it's special for everyone. Look, it's as I say, it's not just down to the manager that it falls on in terms of pressure. The players are under pressure as well. Us as a club, everyone, you know, connected is under pressure, and yeah, we've had some tough times, but look, we're at a final come the end of the season. I'm sure if someone said to you, look, you know, you're going to finish 14th, 15th in the Premier League and be in a European final, I'm sure you'd be happy with that.
And how much have you talked about having to sort of play the final, the occasion and all that kind of stuff? Is it something that you've perhaps talked to the younger players about and all that kind of stuff?
Nah, I don't think we, you know, as I say, we're fully focused on us. We're trying to not play the, you know, I know it's an old cliche, but don't get caught up in the moment. It's just another game, but that's what we've got to do. We can't all of a sudden start changing things and panicking and looking for new things or new ways of training or new ways of doing things, and we certainly won't do that. We're fully focused on us as a squad.